Good morning and welcome to the Windward Buddhist Temple's our regular family service. My name is Shirley and you all know me, so I'm your MC for today. We'll begin with the ringing of the temple bell or kansho that signifies the beginning of a temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is the calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma or teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of the Windward Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English in the red Jodo Shinshu service book on page 7.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida, Namo Amida.
Please be seated. Today's sutra is 12 Homages in the Red Jodo Shinshu Service Book on page 120.
Gods and men all bow in awe to Amida the revered in Buddha's wondrous pure land. Bodhisattvas gather round, golden form like the mountain king, steadfast like the elephant's pace, Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida, Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like thousand suns and moons. Buddha's voice like the nightingale. Thus I bow to Amida, Buddha's figure on Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha subdues evilness. Thus I bow to Amida, beyond compare Amida's pure virtue shining clear like space, all benefit from Buddha. Thus I bow to Amida, Bodhisattvas all renowned, Maras to praise Amida, primal vow made for our sake. Thus I bow to Amida, golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king. Thus I bow to Amida, Bodhisattvas come afar, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face. Thus I bow to Amida, all life changes like the dew. We have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all. Thus I bow to Amida, no evil in the pure land, and no fear of evil past. Faithful hearts honor Buddha. Thus I bow to through many ways, no tempters, no evil friends. Birth leads to enlightenment. Thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised virtues boundless like the sea. These virtues shared with others for birth in the pure land. Namandabu, Namanabu, 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 Namandabu, Namandabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda.
Please rise for the recitation, our pledge in this Windward Buddhist Temple Supplementary Service Book on page 44. Reaching out to others, I will share a smile and gentle words, just like the Buddha who always calls out with aloha. Breaking away from my greed, anger, and ignorance, I will try to live in peace and harmony, just like the Buddha who shares tranquility and kindness with all. Moving forward from self-centeredness, I will share a life of joy and sorrow with others, just like the Buddha whose caring heart always embraces us. Realizing that I live because of others, I will strive to live life to the fullest and with an attitude of gratitude, just like the Buddha who promises to embrace us all. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Please continue to stand for the Gatha. May peace prevail. In the same book, and it's on page, where is my sign? Page 19.
Embraced in Buddha's love.
Please be seated. Our speaker for today is our own Reverend Barbara Brennan.
Good morning, everyone. It's really nice to be here. I hope you'll be patient with me this morning because I just put together this talk, but it's an important talk. It's an important subject. So bear with me, okay? Before I begin, please join me with hands together. I regard Amida Buddha is a characterization of the infinite life force and the light of truth, created to make these ideas accessible to the masses. Once put into this narrative form, the invisible force of the universe takes on a life and power that can reach and communicate with us. Honen, the founder of the Pure Land sect, enthusiastically taught Nembutsu to experience the invisible power of the universe and illuminate the darkness of our world. This was written by Hiroyuki Itsuki, the author of Tariki, Embracing Despair, Discovering Peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, let's see how we do. Okay, I'll take it off. I was wearing it this morning because the smoke from the Senko last week, actually, it was quite heavy, and I just didn't want it to continue to bother my my breathing. So I'm happy to take the mask off, but anyway. Okay, let's see how this goes this morning. Oh, and I have to thank Ryan for, letting me put this book together last minute. He's really an amazing person. Not only technician, but so willing to do things. So kudos to Ryan. Let's see. I'm going to share this book called Badger's Parting Gifts by Susan Varley. I'm not sure if you've heard this book before. I was given this book by a friend who had lost her father. And it is a wonderful story. Badger was dependable, reliable, and always ready to help when help was needed. He was also very old, and he knew almost everything. Badger was so old that he knew he must soon die. Badger wasn't afraid of death. Dying meant only that he would leave his body behind, and as his body didn't work as well as it had in days gone by, Badger wasn't too concerned about that. His only worry was how his friends would feel when he was gone. Hoping to prepare them, Badger told them that someday soon he would be going down the long tunnel, and he hoped they wouldn't be too sad when it happened. One day, When Badger was watching Mole and Frog race down the hillside, he felt especially old and tired. He wished more than anything that he could run with them, but he knew his old legs wouldn't let him. He watched Mole and Frog for a long time, enjoying the sight of his friends having a good time. It was late when he arrived home. He wished the moon good night and closed the curtains on the cold world outside. He made his way slowly down to the warm fire that was waiting for him deep underground. He had his supper and then he sat down at his desk to write a letter. When he had finished, he settled down in his rocking chair near the fire. He gently rocked himself to and fro and soon was fast asleep, having a strange yet wonderful dream like none he had ever had before. Much to Badger's surprise, he was running. Ahead of him was a very long tunnel. His legs felt strong and sure as he ran toward it. He no longer needed his walking stick, so he left it lying on the floor of the tunnel. Badger moved swiftly, running faster and faster through the long passageway until his paws no longer touched the earth. He felt himself turning end over end, tumbling and falling, but nothing hurt. He felt free. It was as if he had fallen out of his body. The following day, Badger's friends gathered anxiously outside Badger's door. They were worried because he hadn't come out to say good morning, as he always did. Fox broke the sad news that Badger was dead and read Badger's note to them. It simply said, "Gone down the long tunnel. Bye-bye, Badger." All the animals had loved Badger, and everyone was very sad. Mole especially felt lost, alone, and desperately unhappy. In bed that night, Mole could only think of Badger. Tears rolled down his velvety nose, soaking the blankets he clung to for comfort. Outside, it began to snow. Winter had begun, and soon a thick layer of snow hid the animals' homes, where they would stay snug and warm during the cold months. The snow covered the countryside, but it didn't conceal the sadness that Badger's friends felt. Badger had always been there when anyone needed him. The animals all wondered what they would do now that he was gone. Badger had told them not to be unhappy, but it was hard not to be. As spring drew near, the animals often visited each other and talked about the days when Badger was alive. Mole was good at using scissors, and he told about the time Badger had taught him how to cut out a chain of moles from a piece of folded paper. Paper moles had littered the ground that day. Mole remembered the joy he felt when he finally succeeded in making a complete chain of moles with all the paws joined. Frog was an excellent skater. He recalled how Badger had helped him take his first slippery steps on the ice. Badger had gently guided him across the ice until he had gained enough confidence to glide on his own. Fox remembered how, when he was a young cub, he could never knot his tie properly until Badger showed him how. Starting with the wide end of the tie, it's right over left, once around to the back, up, then down through the crossover, and holding the back of the tie, push the knot up to the neck. Fox could now tie every knot ever invented, and some he'd make up himself. And of course, his own necktie was always perfectly knotted. Badger had given Mrs. Rabbit his special recipe for gingerbread and had shown her how to bake gingerbread rabbits. Mrs. Rabbit was well known throughout the countryside for her excellent cooking. As she talked about her first cooking lesson with Badger so long ago, she could almost smell the wonderful fragrance of gingerbread fresh from the oven. Each of the animals had a special memory of Badger, something he had taught them that they could now do extremely well. He had given them each something to treasure, a parting gift that would become all the more special each time it was passed on to the others. As the last of the snow melted, so did the animals' sadness. However, whenever Badger's name was mentioned, someone remembered another story that made them all smile. One warm spring day, as Mole was walking on the hillside where he had last seen Badger, he wanted to thank his friend for his parting gift. "Thank you, Badger," he said softly, believing that Badger would hear him. And somehow Badger did. This is one of those stories that is really good to share with kids and adults. It really reflects how life, especially for us Jodo Shinshu people, we know that we're born and then we live a wonderful life. In the end, we all pass away. And sometimes that's really hard, but that's our reality. And I was talking to a friend who said, probably most faiths don't have this kind of philosophical approach and reality of, yes, we live our life as well as we can, and then it's over. But as long as we do our best, then that's been a good life. Shinan was a fascinating person. Once, when he attended a funeral, he found the deceased loved ones crowded around the body, weeping and lamenting. A monk there scolded them. "This person is now entering the Pure Land, wrapped in light. You weep and lament because your faith is weak. You should be rejoicing that he has entered the Pure Land." So in Shinan's mind, and what he said was, there are always stupid monks. This is in the record of his words and deeds called the Kudensho. And he said the monk is wrong. When asked what he would have done, Shinan replied, "Drink is also known as banisher of grief. Give those grieving for the deceased enough sake to forget their sadness and begin recounting their memories of loved one. When drunk, they begin to make jokes. Then they get up and leave. That is the proper way to conduct a funeral," says Shinan. I love this because we don't really hear that kind of statement from Shinan, because he's always has this relentless spiritual logic that what the teachings are. So I really enjoy this sharing that was done by the same author Hiroyuki Itsuki. And if you have a chance, his book, Tariki, is very refreshing. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. Please join me in the three treasures. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida was Namanda, Namanda.
Thank you very much, Reverend Brennan. So you all know what to do now, right? Would you please all rise and turn for the Gatha Quest of Life in this book on page 126. Page 126. And please continue to stand for the Nembutsu. That's found in page 135 in the red Jodo Shinshu book.
difficult it is to receive a human form. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Please be seated. Now we'll have announcements from our president, Mr. Dennis Tashiro.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good to see so many of you today. Let's see, it must be because there's something really special coming up in 2 days. But even more special in a few minutes, right? Okay. Thank you, Reverend Barbara. One for putting that together real quick. That was a very interesting story. Thank you, Lisa, for playing the piano. Shirley, thank you for being the MC. Prudence for being a greeter, and of course, Ryan. Today's refreshment has been provided by Team C, led by Merle. We have a few guests, some you've seen before. Karen Yamada, Diane's friend. You can wave or stand up, or Marie Ann. Oh, Jan Kane's good friend. Speaking of Jan Kane, Keone Rodriguez, Jan's son, and Axel's dad, and Leon, Tatum's stepdad. Can I ask where you're visiting from?
I'm actually coming from Scottsdale, Arizona. So the weather there is close, but not this beautiful. This time of year.
Welcome. Okay, announcements. We're in the middle of our food drive to support the Hawaii Food Bank. Please consider making donations. We're doing it until the second Sunday in November 12th. There's a couple boxes right outside the office there, or if your items are too many, just put them on the side. Let's see, November 11 is Veterans Day. That's a Saturday. So Friday is a holiday, the federal holiday. Friday night, the night of the 10th, we're going to have family movie night. It's good. The movie is Elemental. I heard good reviews from my daughter and my grandkids, so I think it should be fun. So not only for little kids, but adults, you might be enjoying it. I do have a sign-up sheet in the back. We're going to have dinner. Dinner will start at 5:30, and we'll have the movie about 6:30. Okay? Also, as a reminder, the third Sunday, November 19th, there will be no service here. However, whoever can make it, we're planning to visit the Jikoen Hongwanji out in Kalihi. So again, I have a sign-up sheet. Those who can drive, those who need ride, please sign in. They're also going to be serving lunch. It's actually they're celebrating the 85th anniversary of their temple. So I think it's going to be very special, and so we want to make sure they have enough lunch for us. Next Sunday, November 5th, is our first Sunday for November. It's a family service, and after refreshments, we'll be having the intergenerational activity. Speaking of that activity, Prudence will explain what we're going to be doing.
Being that November is Thanksgiving, we're doing we're making turkey puppet. See, I think even the adults can make it. Okay? Then, we're also going to be making Thanksgiving cards. I think some of you that's been with us for a while, we've done this before. So we'll have colored things in all the children or the adults. You just put your finger and you put all the colors. So you'll have a card with the tree. This is one, and then there's one that goes this way that says Happy Thanksgiving. So you'll have 2 cards and 2 envelopes that you can use to put things away. And then, since last month, the snack was so popular, I have another snack that I'm going to show you how to make. But it's a turkey snack. Okay? But I won't tell you about that. So we're doing 3 things next week. All right?
Gee, just tease us with that last thing, huh? Okay, Reverend Barbara found this in the parking lot about 3 Sundays ago. Anybody? I'm not sure who might have lost it. Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for. Let's call up all of the Halloween characters in the room. All the little kids and the kids at heart. That means you guys. Come on, Jen, my daughter. Hey, Tom Cruise, smile.
Ready? 1. Ready? Hold it back up. 2, 3. One more time. One more time. Look this way. Easy. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, everyone who had fun today. Any other announcements? If not, it's time to eat. We actually have a few Halloween food. So if you want to see them, you better go quick because you want to look at it before people start digging into it. Okay, let's do words of thanksgiving, found on page 126 of the red service book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you.